Hello and welcome to the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. We don't take days off because reptilians don't take days off. How you doing, Ollie?
We got a UFO show.
I'm pretty gutted, to be perfectly honest, because
What?
we had a flat Earth show
did.
for a while.
We I think we might hit that tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, I think we might.
If
hit
nothing
that tomorrow.
bakes, we've got the whole, and it starts with Epstein and ends with flat Earth. It's going to be a banger. It's going to be chef's kiss.
Yeah.
I don't understand that saying, chef's kiss. I've never kissed a chef.
Have you not?
So I wouldn't know what it's like to kiss one.
It's great because if we've got beards, like the beard tasted loads of different food.
I've never seen a chef with a beard.
You know, like in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, they had like the everlasting gobstoppers, which kept like changing.
Always wanted one of them. Always wanted one.
Yeah. They kept changing flavors, didn't it?
No, wasn't that the chewing gum?
It was, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah, it was. I think the everlasting gobstopper did have different. I don't know.
I know. I think
In
you're
the
right.
comment section, people.
Yeah, hit us up because we clearly don't know our children's books.
The chewing gum, I remember that because it started with, I think, a prawn cocktail, and then it went
Roast
into
dinner. Went into a roast dinner, and it ended on blueberry pie.
And she turned into a big blueberry.
Yeah.
She was a bitch.
She was a right cunt, wasn't she? Right cunt.
What have I told you about saying that on this show?
Hey, anyway, if you don't want to be a right cunt, you can go and leave us a 5-star review on Spotify. We just killed Ollie. Wasn't even that funny. Oh my god, he's purple. Shit. Oh, I'm gonna. If you'd like to audition to be my new co-host. Dead Man's Shoes, you see, 1 minute in, 1 minute
I
out.
told you about that last night.
Yeah, if you want to send us a 5-star review, please do that on Spotify. You know how important it is. Get in touch with us, leave comments on the fucking Rumbles, on the YouTubes, most importantly on the Spotifys. So yeah, there was a really nice review left on Apple Podcasts the other day. Or was it was Apple Podcasts or something? Because I had a little look because the Spotify reviews are dead easy to find. I don't have a fucking Apple device, so I can't really see the Apple reviews unless I go onto like a separate website which kind of collects them all. And I had a little look today, and the review was, "This has to be the worst podcast in the world. These people are 100% pure dickheads."
That's amazing.
Thank you. I don't think people understand. People don't understand my personality that just leave reviews like that. Like, that's fuel, man. That's like fucking, like, if you can give me like 100 good reviews and one review like that, that's the one I want.
I want to put that on a t-shirt.
Like a box quote.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you also if you're sick of hearing adverts, $2.99 can get rid of the adverts for you on Spotify. There was some sort of glitch, by the way, for people that are listening. There was some sort of glitch on our Patreon, which is where you can get the ad-free podcast today. And I had to sort it out. I had to re-upload the show, but don't know, it wasn't us. I uploaded it this morning. It said everything was fine, and then it didn't post. So it's not happened before. Hopefully it won't happen again.
Well, shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
But we're sorry.
We are sorry, like from the bottom of my heart.
I tell you who's not sorry, Lee. Ross Coulthart.
Is he not? Why?
No.
What's he not sorry for?
He's not sorry for saying that there's a UFO so big they put a building on it.
Mm.
Just to jog people's memory before I get into the meat and the potatoes of this thing. Here we go. You must remember this.
Oh yeah, I remember everything. No, I don't remember this.
You don't remember this.
I'm just joking.
Ross, doesn't that just give them 6 months or more to hide their shit?
Okay. People are going to question what I'm about to say. What if some of that shit is so big it can't be moved?
Is that what you're saying, Ross? Is that what you've been told?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
How big is big?
Big. So big they built a building over it in a country outside of the United States of America. I know that sounds preposterous, and I know, oh my God, you can just hear them now, the bleating debunkers. Let's see this investigated. Let's just see what happens. Let's test these allegations before the Congress. It's very, very easy for people to go, oh, there's no evidence. Oh, my goodness me. Let's just go away and ignore it. Let's test it. We haven't even got there yet. You know, there's a whole cadre of supposed experts on social media who are saying it can't be, therefore it isn't. And that's been the default for so many years. It can't be, therefore it isn't. Imagine if what Mr. Grush is saying is true. Think about the implications of that. And imagine if, as I've just intimated to you, some of these objects are not capable of being moved because they're too bloody big.
I mean, that's pretty astonishing. Have you said that before?
No, you're the first. See, I always save something for you, Jay.
Always save me a little something. No,
So
You're never going to convince me that Ross Coulthart didn't have a massive hard-on when he was talking then.
well, he looks happy there, doesn't he?
I tell you what, though, what a wild ride it's been for
Jay.
For Jay, because like obviously Jay was getting like some
Project
good guests
Unity
and
Jay,
stuff
shout
like that.
out.
Yeah,
Delete
with he was getting some good guests for Project Unity stuff like that. But if you'd have told me when we first did this, he's going to be on Rogan next year, I told you to fuck right off.
I'm pretty sure I once said on the show, I think I can see this guy going. I'm saying that.
fucked,
I say that about
Ollie.
everybody.
You said Ross Coulthart would end up on Rogan.
I think he will.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did not call Jay. That's like, yeah.
I think I did call Jay.
Fuck off.
In the comments section, people.
Tell Ollie he's a fucking liar.
So, this was that about 2 years ago. Am I right by that? Does that sound about
I
right?
think it was last year. It might have been early last year, but I think it was last year.
Well, it's aged like a fine wine, Lee.
Which, incidentally, I reckon Ross Coulthart was absolutely full of in that interview.
Don't do this to me, Lee. I've just gone over the coffee a bit. So here we go. This has just happened.
It's reportedly an object that is not in this country, that is so large it cannot be moved, that they've built an entire building around it. And that's one of the locations that I'm requesting to get to. It's going to involve a lot to make that happen, but that may be the final destination.
So that is the claim, and it was made by a Republican member of Congress, that there is reportedly this object in another country that's so big it can't be moved, and a massive structure has been built around it to hide its location. But several questions remain. What is this? When did it get here? And why is it being kept a secret? Our next guests are both trying to get those answers. Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson, who sits on the Congressional Oversight Committee investigating UAPs and is trying to get permission to visit this alleged site, is with us alongside the founder of the Disclosure Project, Dr. Steven Greer. It's great to have you both here. Congressman, what do we know about what this thing really is?
I don't know that I have any hard evidence of what it really is. I've had allegations from both inside and outside of the federal government that there is this object that exists in another country. I'm not going to mention the country because I've heard of it inside of a closed setting, and I want to protect my classification level. But others may say that. I can tell you that it's not in the facility that's been widely reported in the news. But I have been receiving reports both inside and outside of people that have worked in the federal government that there is the potential that this exists.
Okay. Dr. Greer, you have said publicly that this is outside Seoul, South Korea. Is that accurate?
One of them. Now, remember, I have debriefed almost 800 whistleblowers who've had direct involvement with this. One of them was with the Pentagon for about 8 years as a very senior investigator and had baseline clearance across 18 black project, unacknowledged special access projects. He specifically knew of the one in the mountains outside Seoul, South Korea. It was so huge, they had to build a structure around it. And he was read into this in between 2002 and 2010.
Okay.
So it had been there for some time. Now, I also know there are others that have been brought down in other locations. And if they're over a certain size, they're very, very hard to move. Imagine if they're bigger than a football field. And you're not going to put that on a semi. So it becomes logistically impossible to move it. And then in the United States, we know where there are some others, such as near Fort Sill, Oklahoma. There's a smaller one. They built a SCIF, a facility around that one. We have its location. So I know that the congressman can speak, to what he's limited, but because I'm a private citizen, I can discuss these.
Congressman, are you referring to the location in South Korea?
I can't be specific to that location, but there are wide reports. What I can say is that I've seen articles that have pointed to a specific building, and from what I've been told, that is not the facility.
Wait, can you explain why we can't? You're trying to get permission, I assume, from our government and another government or somebody with another country to go visit whatever this thing is. Maybe it's a spaceship, maybe it's nothing. Why can't we talk about where it is? I don't get that.
Again, because of the information was gathered inside of a classified setting on my behalf. What I can tell you is I have been trying to get access to even locations that reportedly have craft that are being reverse engineered, that are even close to Washington, D.C. And I'm having a difficult time getting access to even those facilities that are just within a few miles from my office in Washington, D.C. So to try to attempt to go to another country and get permission at that level is going to be somewhat insurmountable. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue to try.
It seems like the White House is, at least on some level, behind disclosure. We'll see where it goes throughout the next 3 years. Why is there so much resistance to your request, Congressman?
A lot of it is turf. You have all of the different agencies that protect their information, and it's guarded like it's some kind of commodity. You have committees that protect their turf as well. So if you're not on the right committee, then oftentimes you're turned down, and sometimes there's multiple committees that have jurisdiction over a topic, and they love turning each other down. So the very nature and the difficulty of the red tape system within the bureaucracy of Congress is something that's very difficult to navigate.
Dr. Greer, why can't this thing be moved? We can move mountains as a society. Why can't we move this thing?
Well, it was my understanding it was way too large to move. And remember,
how large? Can you just any idea how large?
Hundreds of feet, and some of them have been into thousands of feet across.
And are we talking about a spaceship?
Yes, definitely. In this case, the one I'm referring to, and there's some others. And the other problem is you can't just chop them up, because I know people who have been on crash retrieval teams with an acetylene torch, a high-powered laser, a diamond tip saw. You cannot cut through that material. It is so specialized and it's so hard.
How long has it been here, Dr. Greer? Sorry to cut you off. How long has it been here? Do we have any idea?
He didn't know that, this particular whistleblower, so I don't know it. He indicated it had been there for quite some time.
Congressman, if you are able to visit this spaceship, what do you do with that information when you get back?
Well, look, if I come under any hard evidence, whether it's physical or video evidence that is absolutely definitive, while I'm going to do what I can to protect our national security and our nation's interest, I will not hold back on telling the American people that we are alone or not alone in this universe.
Okay.
That is something that no government has the right to withhold from its people.
I think a lot of people agree with that. And then this weekend, Barack Obama, out of nowhere, said this. Take a look.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
Dr. Greer, did you believe him?
Well, this is the briefing document that was given to him in 2009. It was actually given to John Podesta, who was his senior advisor at the time, and then later ran Hillary's campaign. And it had great detail in it. Now, how much of it got to him directly? I never met with Mr. Obama directly. He did indicate that he knew there was something there, but he was never read into it, meaning this is what I discovered when I briefed the first president, CI director I briefed, which was Bill Clinton in 1993. They were desperate to find information on this, and they were blocked. I think the public and the media need to acknowledge that there are some criminal elements to the secrecy that's gone on for at least since the late 1950s. And so I think Mr. Obama never was fully read into it, and that's why he says, I didn't see anything.
Right.
But was he given information? Yes.
Okay. Dr. Steven Greer, Congressman Eric Burleson, appreciate you being with us. Congressman, we appreciate you coming on, and we appreciate the fact that you're trying to do this. Please keep.
You muted, you retard.
Because I was coughing my guts up through that. What do you think? South Korea.
Right, there was something I said to you earlier on the phone which I hadn't thought of before, which is a bit fucking stupid of me. Like, reports, like, going back to, like, well, at least when I first started hearing of them, well, obviously it was, like, around the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard about these, like, football field size UFOs that come silently hovering over people and stuff like that. I've always been quite skeptical of that because I don't understand. I mean, obviously big is big, right? But when you get some of these people that say these things that like are quite low that came over them, I don't know how you gauge, like, when did we suddenly decide that we that like football fields was a good system of measurement for fucking alien spaceships? It was really weird, right? How do you know?
Seems to be the thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you've got something that's massive underneath, when you're underneath it, I don't quite understand how you can scale it like that. And that's my personal fucking beef with the term.
See, Ross Coulthart, he never said a foot. He said, I think he said a building, didn't he? There's buildings bigger than football fields.
I mean,
there's a few.
Yeah, there's also buildings smaller than football fields, Ollie.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
I've just been while I was playing, I was looking at some pictures of South Korea buildings.
Yeah.
I mean, they could all be an alien spaceship. Let's face it. There's some weird ass buildings there.
But what I was going to say was, apart from the football field size thing, is I'm surprised we haven't thought about this before. You know, the idea is always alien spaceship crashes, their fucking black helicopters pick it up, somehow take it like 50 stories down in Groom Lake, and they start working on it. But obviously, if there's, we've never thought that one of these big fuckers might have been on the ground. The second thing I take from that is, and this is why I think, without like, I'm definitely not taking the fun out of it because I still think this is all fucking weird. But it's why I think we're in like psyop town. Yeah.
Yeah.
If something's buried under the ground, yeah, it makes no sense to jump to the conclusion that it's alien.
I mean, Steven Greer did say it's a spaceship.
Yeah, and then the congressman said, yeah, but but that's what I mean. I don't understand why you would naturally jump to that conclusion.
Well, I mean, I think he might jump to that conclusion because he says he's read in on this.
Yeah, but
he's very convinced that they are visitors from outer space.
Yeah. But it fits the narrative at the minute.
It does.
Doesn't it?
You're right. It does. I don't get me wrong. I get exactly what
Yeah.
you're saying because I
It
thought the
make-
same thing. You know,
It makes
just, like
far more sense if you dig something up from like if we dig like an old Roman fort up, yeah, or an old Roman bathhouse. We don't look and go, oh my god, alien bathhouse. No, we've dug up Earth's history.
Well, if you look at the weirdly enough, the guy who kind of broke it as well was Jay again from Project Unity. If you look at the pyramids and the LIDAR scans that was done of the strange cylindrical spirals going down, pipes going down a kilometre down with a big massive square at the bottom. Arguably, when they say who built the pyramids, maybe we did build the pyramids to cover whatever that is underneath there.
Well, that was
Maybe the pyramids were to take the. Do you get what I'm saying? Like whatever it is underneath there. I told
you about that book I read, didn't I? I told you about that book I read called The Pyramid Codes.
I think so.
Yeah, and it was the actual author. Again, all this could be bullshit. The actual author is still unknown. But it was published by a guy who was then. He was given the book and told to publish it. So he's been like the spokesperson of it. And the Pyramid Code. This came out. I think it was like I think it was in the 2020s, like 2021, something like that, maybe.
Okay.
And even if it's a bit later, even if it was like 2020, like 2000. Oh yeah, maybe it was 2009. Maybe it was like right.
So he was told to publish it, but
either that, it was well before.
But he didn't write it.
Yeah, and the guy that wrote it wanted to remain anonymous. Apparently, I've always kind of had a sneaky suspicion that it's bullshit. And the guy that, when I read it, I thought it was.
It's bullshit. A good selling tactic.
Yeah, and I thought, well, obviously the guy that's doing the book tour for it is probably the author. Like it's like quite a cool. He's created a mythos around his book before it's even been published. I thought, like, if so, fucking genius. Like imagine like authors have gone under pseudonyms for ages to keep themselves thing, but I can't think of an author that's released a book under like unknown author, and I'm just here talking about it because you're almost like. It's quite a smart and selfless act because you're not getting the kudos, are you? You're going around and you're getting the kudos for a mythical person that doesn't exist. But in that book, and there was lots of it wasn't the easiest book to read, and it wasn't like the most well written book I've ever read, but the crux of it was that there was a large square building underneath the pyramids, like deep in the ground, that they called the gallery. And inside that square, like large square...
You mean what's actually being reported now?
Contained the technology that helped build the pyramids. And what they did was they built the pyramids and then stored the stuff underneath them.
So how did they get underneath once they'd already built it?
I mean, you've got to think that maybe that. See, this is the thing. We don't really know how, like where the ground level would have been at that point. Obviously, the ground level's higher now than it was.
Yeah, well, that's what Eric, what's his name said, isn't it?
Eric von Daniken.
No, he might have said that as well. But Nick's best mate, Graham
Hancock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be wild if the fucking pyramids were like freestanding structures 5 kilometers high originally?
That's who did that concept art. There was some concept art of that, wasn't there?
The concept art of them being obelisks.
It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Do you know what, right? What we can say, I know we've drifted a little bit, But
I don't
what
think
we
we have.
can say about the like people that have done like drawings of the pyramids gone much deeper than they are like that. People that even that book about the large square room that was underneath it. I don't think it was called the gallery. I think they referred to it as the basement actually.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help think that someone's known something. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's not like they know everything about it, like someone at some point has been said, do you know what? Fucking there's some shit underneath the pyramids, like well deep. Like this big room there. And that's kind of been like passed around or something like that, you know, because people talk. That's the thing, you know, is that like even stuff that's like being like controlled by the Museum of Antiquities or whatever it is that control all the stuff that comes out of Egypt. Everyone gets drunk at a bar.
This is how I think a lot of this stuff starts, mate. Somebody gets drunk
Probably.
at a bar, and all of a sudden, fucking hell, Ross Coulthart's been given information about a fucking a building that's been put on top of a flying saucer.
Yeah.
Just really quickly, because I've got something to move on to, but which is completely related.
Just
But
quickly before you
look
go
at-
on, do you think talk about being drunk at a bar? Do you think there's any chance that Ross Coulthart woke up in the morning that after the Jay interview and went, "Fucking hell, I told him about the UFO that's buried"?
I don't know. I think he might have. I actually think that sometimes it's a case of, right, Ross, go. You're allowed to give that nugget out there.
Yeah, like Jeremy Corbell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy Corbell is absolutely told to say stuff. now
Let
and
it
again.
go. Let it go on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of these buildings are really weird. I did look at this one This is when people were looking for the object way back when, and somebody found that. Guess where it is?
South Korea.
South Korea.
I
There's
mean-
all sorts of fucking weird ones, Lee. I mean, some of them look like that. Looks like alien technology in itself.
Yeah. Isn't a building in Liverpool looks like that?
That's a spaceship. Come on.
It's a pyramid.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's odd. That definitely looks like a spaceship.
I don't think if you were building something on top of a spaceship, you wouldn't try and make it look like a fucking spaceship, though.
I mean, what if you couldn't cover up and you're just like, let's just put some windows stuck to that spaceship? Aren't people going to ask questions why they can't go into the building? Nah, top secret.
Be fine. Like that one, like the windowless CIA building. Is it in New York? Is it New York?
Yeah.
That's weird as fuck.
So
I'm almost convinced that's like the building in Control. You know, you walk through the door and it's like endless inside.
I had someone on the show once that told me after the show that in fact, mate, the Ross Coulthart thing has been going on for. Actually, no, this might have been before Ross Coulthart. If you're saying Ross Coulthart was a year ago,
it was. I think it was a year ago. It was no more than 2.
Now, you've spoke to the fella. You've had an argument with the fella before, but
Oh, not him.
him, yeah. But he went to a lot of fucking UFO places. There's an interview with it. There's a video went viral of him with that Congress lady. I've forgotten her name. Where he's asking her.
He paid to go to a fucking conference.
No, I know. He also paid Steven Greer for part of his serious disclosure. He was a sponsor for that.
He paid into TTSA.
Yeah.
And I'll just also point out to this to all the people listening here. If you guessed A, does he still live with his mother because he's spending too much money on UFO things? You'd have been correct.
Anyway, I like him.
No, you don't.
But somebody did tell him something about something that's buried in New York. That there is something underneath one of the buildings, and that was.
Did they sell him a treasure map after they told him?
They might have done. I don't know. poor fella's still. I've not found it yet. Anyway, I've got something. I don't know if have you seen this about these new alien reptilian mummies?
I tried to look at something just before, and like literally, I found the video. I found something talking about it, and then I was like, "Oh shit! I need to get to jits. I had to go to jiu-jitsu."
Here we go. I'm gonna let the lovely Christina Gomez, who we should get on the show actually, because she's.
I can't find a contact for her.
She's friends with Hidden. She's friends with
well,
Hidden. We'll have to hit her up.
You can be in charge of that.
But I'll just let her introduce it.
A billionaire logistics CEO says he was sent into a cave system underneath a church in Mexico to retrieve what he describes as non-human skeletal remains. He says he touched them. He says he was told he only had 2 weeks to live because of it. And he says 13 operators passed away during the exact same mission. This aired on Ross Coulthart's Reality Check, and the details are very interesting. If you wish to believe it or think it's false, this is something worth knowing about at the very least.
Thank you, Christina. I just thought she would do a better job than me, and she's far prettier.
I want to see I want to see them.
You're going to see them. I'm going to bring the next clip up now. I had to skip along a little bit. You know, you've got all the... Here we go.
Make sure you go check out Christina Gomez's YouTube channel.
Yeah, she's brilliant,
by the way, guys.
She's actually been doing it for quite some time. But yeah, she's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Okay, so we've got an image that we've put up here of what appear to be two skeletal remains. They're clearly not human. If we believe what you've been told about these remains, they date right back to the 1600s.
Correct.
Talk me through what we're looking at here. They appear to be non-human. Talk me through what you're looking at.
Is it just me, or does that remind you of the thing in Beetlejuice? You know,
it does remind me of the thing in Beetlejuice. I'm never 100% out of anything, but like if I had a visual representation of my bullshit meter, springs would be exploding out of it.
You don't think this looks realistic?
I do not, Ollie.
You don't?
No, can't help think I could have done better myself, and I can't help thinking that even the eye sockets are like fucking serrated where they haven't fucking smoothed them out. Carry on.
I was looking at this and thinking, because you know my mum's a potter. I'm thinking I could make that out of clay.
What? As in, like, you're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah. Also, it's got like one tooth in the middle there. It's got a nostril that's not
bigger than the other.
It's bigger than the other, and it's not in unison with it. See, we do a good job of explaining these things, people. And if you imagine the scene in I've just said the name of the film, Beetlejuice, where the guy stretches his head back and pulls his eyes to scare the family. It's kind of exactly what that would look like without skin. Anyway, carry on.
Shout out to Mark on the Isle of Man as well. He brought this to my attention this morning.
I remember you telling me this morning. That's why I went. That must be why I went looking for it. Thank you, Mark.
I'll move back to the original carving stone. That was one of the first objects that was identified. And that particular stone had a reference of two skeletal looking beings, and one was stabbing the other on this stone. And then that stone was actually date stamped back in the 1632-34 range. Then that leads me to the skeletal remains that were found secondarily. And then you put that, and I go back to this because it was carved in stone. It resembles the artifacts that I found, the skeletal remains. And then subsequently,
is it carved?
Anyway,
right? Yes.
I was trying to process.
Sorry, people. So what me and Ollie have just been ripping the absolute fucking budgie guts out of is a stone carving that is like looks like it's been carved like to look like these skeletons that this guy's found. Right. Okay.
I didn't say any of that. Lee was the one that pointed all of it out and was mocking it. So I knew. I just wanted to let him go.
Yeah, okay. I'm back in now. Come on. Show me the fucking reptilians. I'm right.
That's all of the information as it came together. And subsequently that led me to a place of saying, well, this isn't us. This isn't human. This isn't, this didn't even date back. The Mayans were basically carving something at that time, or the indigenous on the ground at that time, basically put something in stone. And there were a bunch of other artifacts like that as well. But this one particularly, as it referenced the skeletal remains versus the object in the stone. It was actually kind of in I want to put this, it was mildly concerning. That's probably a good way to put it.
Mildly concerning. I can imagine it was a huge.
I thought was super compelling, as TW breaks down the history of this. This wasn't just bones like found in a pile of rubble. This was, the locals, when these crashes, the story goes in the 1600s, they had these crashes, all these anomalies began to happen. The locals built churches on top of the crash sites, thinking that they're religious.
I told you it was linked. They built a building over it, Lee. They built a building over it.
I appreciate the intelligence of our audience enough that you didn't need to point that out, Ollie.
No, I just wanted to point out that my intelligence, that's all. There we go.
I think you did.
Buildings would protect them. And so these buildings have been there for hundreds of years. And so when they begin the excavation, they didn't just start digging in some dirt that someone could have threw some manufactured skeletons in. They had to bust through concrete and get into a cave system that had been there for a long time. So if this was some kind of hoax, it would have been a hoax that was in hundreds of years in the making.
What if, just gonna pause it there, what if they were, so like we dig up apparently dinosaur bones, but then we don't have any of the dinosaur bones. We remake what we think it looked like, or we mold some of it. What if that was the Mayans' version of being able to do that, and it wasn't just carved, they was trying to imitate what it looked like. I don't know, to maybe say, look, this is what we're up against.
I don't know.
This is what we found.
See, that's what someone would have to help me here, because I don't know. I don't know if bones would last that long.
Well, maybe that's why they preserved them by making them in stone.
Yeah, no, but this guy's saying that those skeletal remains are skeletal remains. Like I don't know whether that's possible. I don't know because I'm a dummy, not because of any other reason. I don't like because even like dinosaur bones. Even if we like, I'm not getting into dinosaurs, Ollie.
We'll do a show on dinosaurs.
But what we supposedly dig up are fossils, aren't they? Which aren't bones. Fossils aren't bones.
No, it's stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's saying this is skeletal remains.
I thought he just said that it is carved.
No, that was the head we were just looking at. But he's saying that thing was carved to look like the skeletons.
Right. So the bone bits that we're seeing are actual bone, but the head is
that's
carved.
where I'm fucking gathering. Literally, this is the first time I've watched any of this.
Well, I was getting this together just before, so I'd listened to it, but it's hard to make out. Is what, mate?
I was just going to say hit us with it, see if they bring the pictures back up.
Okay.
For sure. Yes.
When you found the skeletons, TW, were they buried in soil, or were they just lying in a sarcophagus? How were they presented?
They were actually in a cave system underneath that church that Chad referenced. And you can look at the original photo of the unearthing of the entrance into the cave system. You can see where they actually concreted over that original entrance to kind of encapsulate that moment. But inside of the cave system was a natural cavern system. And that's where the artifacts were found, was in the cave system itself.
Now, the thing that fascinates me about all of this is I've been briefed privately by people aware of the legacy program who say one of the things that worries them most about us keeping this secret is that the Chinese particularly are stealing the march on us. They're actually getting ahead of us on this, which is a huge worry. Frankly, if anyone's going to have access to this technology and this knowledge, I want it to be the US. I couldn't think of a more important thing for the United States to be in control of technology and knowledge rather than authoritarian repressive regimes like Russia or China. TW, as I understand it, the background to this is that in the...
Say again, mate.
He said like suppressive countries like China or the UK.
Well, I mean, I'm going to bring that down anyway because I find it quite weird that he got straight into the subject then went into China. You know, let's go to the China threat with the UFO thing.
Yeah, I know.
Let's move on from the skeletons. Let's go into.
I get it. I mean, this is like a lot has been put in this, hasn't it? That the cop part. If you take all this at fucking face value, which I suggest we probably shouldn't, the compartmentalization of the American like security and military industrial complex is not conducive to scientific advancement. You know, hence the Bob Lazar idea of like, well, I was working on the fucking windscreen wipers and Terry down the road was working on the indicators and we didn't know where we were going to put them. You know, it's always been that thing that China would be able to more cohesively work together because they, you know, it's. You don't have private industry in China. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Depending on what your technology company is, it just depends on how integrated it is with the government.
I mean, I don't think you're ever going to get it because of how controlled it is. But can you imagine if like China just turned around and went, "Listen, we see what you're saying about the UFO thing, but it ain't us." They've never said that. I don't think they're going to do that. You're not going to get anybody. And that's the thing. That's the beauty of this. So America or the UK or whatever, the West can say what it wants about China. And China, no matter what, ain't going to respond either way. Because it's going to be like, well, if they think we've got UFOs and they think they've got this technology, let them think that. But at the same time, there'll be somebody sat there and going, what the fuck are they talking about?
It reeks of Cold War, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, like what have they got? What have we got? I mean, it is even like depending on how fucking deep you go down rabbit holes. I'm not suggesting this thing, but there's even things that the US faked. Let's just see, fake's the wrong word, but used traditional explosives for like Hiroshima and stuff like that, and then said it was a hydrogen bomb. You know, it's always been a thing, hasn't it? I don't think that's actually I don't know what happened, but I don't think that's right. Although, like I say, I do have family that were in Hiroshima, well, kind of adopted family that were in Hiroshima, and she lived till she was like fucking 90 years of age, and she was within the area.
Not crispy at all.
No, she was not crispy. She wasn't. But like, obviously, she wasn't in the fucking blast zone. She wasn't like lying in the fucking crater like Superman landed. But she was in there. She lost some of her family and then moved to where I am. She was a big friend of my grandparents. But
I watched a documentary on that and saw like the
Superman's not a documentary, mate.
No, not Superman. About Hiroshima. The shadows that were baked into the rock where the bomb had gone off. I'm like, would that happen? You know, the cogs were turning.
Would make sense. Makes sense. You know, you're such a bright light.
Would it make sense?
Yeah. Because
wouldn't the body just blast before the shadow?
No, because you're casting a shadow on something, aren't you? So there would be if there was something in the fucking way of it, it would definitely there would be a thing.
I don't know. I don't want to test we don't need an experiment. So.
Essentially, the same thing as what happens when you go in those, those things that usually in cheap amusement centers where they kind of like a flash goes off and it catches your shadow. Same concept.
Well, so I've got another clip up here while we're talking about the subject of aliens, threats from China. So Weinstein, I get them mixed up. Eric is asked about aliens here by a podcast that I appear to have forgotten the name of, the Ranveer show. I think the guy's called Ranveer, Indian guy. Pretty good actually. Let me bring this up because I found this interesting, especially now we're on the subject of nuclear weapons. It's
big fan of Eric Weinstein podcast. The one he did with trigonometry last week was fucking.
I need to watch that. So yeah, it's weird that you brought up nukes. Let me play this.
So just quick.
Do you believe in this reptilian leaders conspiracy?
No.
But do you believe that aliens are present among us?
Maybe, but not as like, that engineer over there or this waiter or no.
He moves different. Scratches himself. No?
Have you heard my North Sentinel Island theory?
No, but go on.
Okay, so there's this island in the Andaman Nicobar chain, which has a bunch of people on it who don't know they're Indians. Because the island is claimed by India, but India won't let anyone land there.
You think the Earth is a North Sentinel Island?
Correct. And I think that we're Indians in a galactic sense, and we don't know what India is. So you know the history of North Sentinel Island?
Yeah.
What do you know about it?
What's told to us here is that they're like a time capsule of how humankind used to be.
I believe there was a guy who was active and maybe buggered the natives and was not being... There's some history of contact in the region.
They're very private. And if you go close to North Sentinel Island, they start attacking. That's what is told to like every Indian.
Yeah, but I don't think that that's even as true as it's claimed.
So you think
I believe that there are two things about this story that need to be checked out. And again, if I'm wrong, it's okay.
Sure.
One, I believe that there is a story of contact between, I think, the British and people in the Andaman and Nicobar chain. And whether the North Sentinelese or not, I don't know. And two, I think that there are actually videos of them behaving in a non-hostile fashion with the exchange of coconuts, which aren't native to the island or something like that. So you can check me out. But it is in general the case that they treat people who land on the island as if they're hostile. We don't know what their language is. We don't know how many of them there are. We don't know how they live. But yet India claims it. I think there's a significant possibility that we are the North Sentinelese and that we sent a message when we exploded the atomic weapons that we're getting ready to leave.
Ooh, okay.
I think that very shortly before you crack the code of the universe, one of the last acts is that you set off an atomic weapon. And I think that something in the universe might know that.
I'm curious about what 2045 will be like, because it'll mark 100 years. Would we be...
Remember what I said about there were 10,000 years between 1902 and 1952? I think things could accelerate very quickly, very soon.
And you say that as a scientist?
Yeah. I say that very much as a scientist. I think that what I already believe about the universe is that there's not that much left to figure out. Not at the level of, there are an infinite number of puzzles, but in terms of the rules of the universe, the physical rules, I think we're almost at the end. And then I think that we're going to accelerate very, very quickly when we get the last piece.
Thank you for consuming this clip, those.
So yeah, I thought the bit there that he said about, because we've heard this whole nuke thing before, but I would consider Eric Weinstein an extremely intelligent man, and when a scientist, is he a scientist? Scientist guy.
Yeah, he's a scientist.
Yeah. Is telling you that maybe we've kind of like poked the bear a little bit, and they're going, holy shit. This is like the...
I don't think that's what he's saying.
I think that's what he was saying. He was saying a little bit like if in Star Trek, if a civilization cracks the speed of light, that's
yeah, but
when
I don't think he wasn't saying that something was looking at us going, oh shit. It was like, so he was saying that he thinks every a civilization that becomes a spacefaring civilization, the last thing they do is atomic weapons.
Yeah, but I think he's saying there that would have triggered whoever they are to have a little bit of interest.
Notices, yeah. I'd love to know why. Like, it fucks me off with podcasters, you know. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm the greatest interviewer that's ever lived, or like I'm not even the greatest interviewer in this room, and I'm on my own.
I mean, speak for yourself.
But like, when you've got Eric Weinstein in front of you saying he thinks that things are going to accelerate like really quickly when you get up to a point, and the interviewer says, "And you're saying that as a scientist?" You go, "Yeah." Then you go, "Your next question is, could you explain that to me, please?"
Oh yeah, you'd want to.
Why? Why do you think it's going to
that?
Yeah. Why do you think we're going to start accelerating really quickly? And he didn't. And like that is literally the most interesting part of what he just said then. And there was no follow up question.
As soon as he mentioned that the nuclear weapon, and that might have piqued their interest, I'd be like, okay, let's move with this. How many of them have you heard? How many have paid an interest?
It's not just that. It's like even what he was saying. So I think we're really close to understanding like the rules of the universe, and it's like we just need to find the last piece. I go, what does that mean? Because fucking monkey brain over here thinks that all this stuff is a fucking mystery. So if you're saying like, oh, we've nearly fucking figured out the fucking universe, then I think he's a very intelligent guy, but I'm going to need to see you working out, champ.
So what I have for us next, we've spoke about this before, Lee, but it seems to be gathering. It seems to be gathering quite a few legs. Like not human legs,
quite
spider
a few
legs.
Not just like a couple that are really strong. Like
no, this is like a good on
many legs,
alien legs. Yeah, the Trump thing, and this disclosure. So listen to this from Tim Pool podcast.
Rumors that President Donald Trump is planning a major speech about unidentified flying objects has been growing online since claims published in early February suggested a major revelation may be imminent. Mark Christopher Lee, a British writer, filmmaker, and ufologist, said in a Monday email in part to Newsweek, quote, "A Washington insider I have known personally and conducted..."
Believe it or not, he is not speeded up.
Do you know the wild thing is, right? I don't know quite what... I don't know if I should say this, because he's supposed to... I have been speaking to him to come on the podcast, but this is
Tim?
No, Mark Christopher Lee.
Oh, okay.
And I don't mean this disparaging at all towards the guy. I enjoy his content on TikTok, but when I look at his collection of work, I find it like I think his stuff's really good. Don't get me wrong. I find his stuff's really interesting. But I'm amazed how...
Who's giving him the leg up?
If he was given a leg up, because like all these people, he's reported on this. Other people, he did an interview with Professor Simon last week, talking about this as well, and like the TikTok is basically, trust me, bro. Trump's got this.
Oh, is this the guy you were talking to me about today?
Yeah,
speaking to right? Okay,
yeah.
A little bit of.
I need to follow up. Like we spoke to each other. He was away and he couldn't come on the show, and then We had another guest on. No, we didn't have a guest on, but we had something else planned, so I didn't get back in touch with him for that. So I don't know if he's coming on or not, but I've been speaking to the guy. But I'm just amazed how far that TikTok has gone. With no, because it's just like
I think sometimes like Mark might not know this, but I think sometimes if you put the right thing out, they're like, "Yep, let that go." That's going.
And look, I'm not saying he's lying here by any stretch of the imagination. When he says, "I've got contacts in Washington, they've told me that his speech is drawn up and ready to go." He said that it was penciled in for it was either June or July time, but they were worried that somebody else might get out ahead of them, so that time scale might be accelerated. That's, I think, what he said. But it was a while ago when I saw it. Yeah. But I just wanted to point out, I find it fucking wild just how much this is caught on.
It is crazy.
Can we also point out the fact that why do like two of the fucking people on the Tim Pool panel look like fucking retards?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they are.
What's going on? Like, one's got a fucking hat on him, like he's just been like kept for detention at school, and the other one looks like he's dressed up to go, like he's cosplaying as a 70s fucking rock star.
Yeah, he looks like he could be an extra in Bill and Ted.
Yes.
And the other
Spinal
guy,
Tap.
He's like, "Am I Freddie Mercury?" No, you're not.
What the one guy in the middle there didn't get the memo. He's like, "Fuck, I just came in a jumper. Sorry, guys."
Yeah, that guy in the middle is like, "Who the fuck are these guys?"
I'm getting paid. Yeah, I am getting paid. Oh, okay.
Has repeatedly affirmed that President Trump has prepared a historic speech acknowledging extraterrestrial visitation and the existence of recovered non-human materials and craft. Newsweek has not verified the claims. So here's the trick. The way they format their news articles makes you get all excited and hot and bothered. And then you got to scroll way down to where it says like, well, it's probably not true. The unnamed source is saying this and this. There's no evidence to this. There's no evidence of a planned speech, all at the bottom of the article. But hold on. This story has persisted for some time. Take a look at this from TMZ. Trump knows about extraterrestrial life forms, says the Age of Disclosure director, November 2025. Obama, being jealous, says aliens are real. You guys saw this. Washington Post reporting aliens are real, Obama says, as Washington shrugs. The former president appeared to confirm decades-old conspiracy theories, but then he walked back his podcast comments.
So, right. That's what I wanted to play to. So
just quickly as well, the fucking fall off of Tim Pool needs to be studied.
Yeah.
That show, like...
For a minute. Woof.
But
Massive.
It's almost unwatchable now. Tim Pool, almost unwatchable. It's diabolical.
Didn't he at some point like he was like there was like they'd hire out a building and there were like loads of people that would turn up and watch it live? Am I thinking of the wrong podcast?
I think you're thinking of the wrong podcast.
I may be thinking the wrong podcast.
But yeah,
so do you,
I don't know what went on with Pool, but it's fucking. His show was very much like a Patrick Bet-David for me, where I never listened to every single show, but it was always saved to my phone. It was always like
I love a bit of Patrick Bet-Davis.
Yeah, I do as well. But like I don't even think I subscribe to Tim Pool's podcast anymore. I never watch it.
I want to see a Patrick Bet-Davis show on UFOs.
Did he had Alex Jones on the other day, didn't he? I haven't
watched that. I need to watch it. But the reason why I wanted to bring that clip up there is because earlier in the show, you saw them speak. You saw this clip here, which I think I've saved it to the right section. Yeah, I have. You saw this bit where they mention Barack Obama.
Yes, take a look.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
Do you remember Independence Day?
I'm aware.
Do you remember what he said in Independence Day?
I remember that he didn't know that there was stuff underneath the thing.
I think word for word, he says that there is no Area 51. There is no alien
very
base.
similar, wasn't it? Yeah. Right. I think we need to remember something as well here. Like, Barack Obama is not like Donald Trump. He is not for good or bad, a fucking mad lad. Every single question that was asked on that podcast would have been screened before it was asked. You don't just book Barack Obama for your podcast and then just start throwing questions at him. There would have been a sheet of questions that he would have had prepared. He would have given that to Barack Obama's team. They would have looked at it and said, no, you can't ask about that. You can't ask about that. We could suggest you ask this and this and this. And then you'd probably send drafts back like 4 or 5 times. There's just no way that it's just like a normal podcast you do with a normal guest. So that's pointed. Like the fact he asked about aliens has been screened, okayed, and Barack would have had a prepared answer for
it. Yeah, I do think. Yeah, I think you're right there.
Mate, I've done fucking interviews years and years and years ago, like for English radio for when I was in a band, and even band stuff. You get they'll send you they'll send you the fucking questions out of like courtesy before you even get asked, because they don't want you to fucking trip. They want you to sound really good, because that makes their show sound really good and makes their interviewer sound really good.
Well, just as an experiment, I just want to see if this actually works. I want to see how close this is, because I've got the clip. I'll just replay this a second. So I just want to see. I find it fucking the synchronicity is incredible.
Where said this? Take a look.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous.
So they're not being. There is no any pauses. There is no area. Like you forgot the name of the place. Right. Let me play this. I want to see how close this is. It might not be close at all, but it's an interesting little experiment.
In a bunker. Where was that? David.
I don't know.
Area 51, right? Area 51. You knew then. And you did nothing.
Sir, regardless of what you may have read in the tabloids, there have never been any spacecraft recovered by our government. Take my word for it. There's no Area 51. There's no recovered spaceship. Oh, excuse me.
It's completely different.
It is completely different. But the guy beforehand said Area 51. Barack Obama did say that.
I thought you cracked the case there, Ollie, didn't you?
I did think I cracked the fucking case. I'm going.
Oh, that's my favourite part of this show. Oh.
I feel kind of silly now.
Yeah, I would. I'd have definitely listened to that clip before I just threw it out there. I'd have listened to it while I was talking.
No, I didn't have that clip ready.
Oh, no, I know. I guessed that.
Oh, dear. I can't be perfect. Just
adequate, it would do now and again, like acceptable.
I do think, though, when because he got stuck. And it's like, come on, you know what Area 51 is.
Yeah, and it's a very I can't do impressions, but it's an Obama way of talking, isn't it? To speak and leave the gaps, and then wrap the sentence up. You know, like the cues there. I don't know, but like I say, I just don't believe that he didn't know that question was coming. And then if you knew that question was coming, you got to ask why it was asked. There's just so much, like, there's all these little fucking nods and things like that now. Like especially with the this buried UFO thing. I do kind of. They need to take the heat off the fucking Epstein files, Ollie.
Oh my God, I'm so glad that you're saying this now, because this is all coming to a fucking, oh my God, a climax, Lee. Carry on. Actually, can I show you the new trailer for Disclosure Day before you end that thought?
Do we need to watch it?
We don't need to know, but I think it's quite pungent in, I think, what might
Do you know
be
what that
happening.
word means?
No.
Smells.
Yeah, I think it smells.
Right. I don't
Smells
think
of
that's what you meant to say, Ollie.
So sometimes words just pop out. Sometimes I mean, the new trailer, it's a minute long. This was played at the Super Bowl. And I think this is very fitting right now.
How very avocado of you.
I'm going to play it. I'm going to fucking play it. I've put it in the mix and I'm going to play it. It's got some good audio to it as well. So you're going to love it, people. But this right here, I think this is going to make some noise.
We're interrupting our coverage. There has been a threat to publicly release government material long shrouded in secrecy. Are they people?
No.
Do you think there could be others?
People have a right to know the truth.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world, all at once.
If you do this, there's no undoing it.
There will be no other day like tomorrow.
If you do this, there is no undoing it. I think that is kind of what's going on now. I don't think they can undo what's actually happening right now. But it is weird that we're getting all this. We get these breaks, so we get a load of Epstein stuff, like you said, and then we've got this fucking massive. Over the last few days, we've got fucking weird mummies. Ross Coulthart's building that's over a UFO has re-emerged. We're getting more and more stuff every day.
Yeah.
And people are not talking. The conspiracy world it's almost like, oh, let's put the Epstein stuff on hold for a minute.
I think you're right, because there seems to be a stage being set. And I don't know if you saw today that roughly 2.1 million documents were released, something like that. Anyway, just about half the documents.
There's more
from the
files
Epstein
coming, yeah.
files. No, there's no more files coming.
No more.
So the Department of Justice said today that they aren't going to release any more Epstein files. I don't believe it, Ollie. In the same way, right? I remember us in the...
What, you don't believe that they're not gonna?
No.
You think we're gonna get some more?
Yeah, I do.
But at the right time.
And it was like when Trump was first pointed to them before the documents came out, and it started to gain traction that from Elon Musk, when Elon Musk said the reason he's not releasing them is because Trump's all over them. I think we said at the time that this could have been like a masterstroke from the Trump administration, because all of a sudden, the left didn't want the Epstein files. No one in the left was interested in them. They, it was like it was a crazy right-wing conspiracy for a while, but now everybody wants them. So the right-wing guys want them because they've always wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
But now the left wing venomously want them because they want Trump to be like wrapped up in it.
And wasn't that what the plan was?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure people said that this is the plan.
Oh yeah,
to make
people
the left want them.
Well, that's the Trumpian side of it, is that he's played a genius masterstroke here. It would make sense because he did say retarded stuff, like he called it a conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
and he said he also referred to like lots of people in the, there's lots of good people on those lists. Joe
Rogan's on the list.
On the list for not going, which is
he's on the list for not going.
Splendid people. I might have never done another podcast, like, but I think you're right, but this is it just makes me think of what was on that disclosure day. I know we just watched a fucking. I suppose there's when you talk about disclosure. I mean, I'm not saying he's involved in anything. Just saying, maybe somebody like Steven Spielberg would probably not want the Epstein list to come out. Not him. Someone like him.
Not Steve, no. But maybe another director.
No.
Or somebody else in the industry.
Because there's nothing shady in his past. Nothing shady in his past about like girls that were in horror films or anything like that. Like involving like ghosts that throw things around. Nothing shaky. But like this whole disclosure, all at once, kind of feels like what we're getting, but like on a larger scale. I'd love to know, like you talked before about China, and like us not know what they're saying when we're talking about UFOs. We don't really know what anyone else is saying when it comes to the Epstein stuff. There's a couple of loose comments from.
Do you think China even know who Jeffrey Epstein is?
If you don't think they do, I think you're on crack.
I reckon if I walked into a Chinese restaurant in China and said, held up a picture of Jeffrey Epstein and said, "Has anybody seen this man?" They would look at me like an idiot.
Yeah, I think they probably would, Ollie. I don't even think you need to take the sign.
I don't know because right, I've been to China, yeah? I've watched Chinese television. I've seen Chinese social media on Dave's phone. I won't say his second name, but like the Chinese guy that was my tour guide. It's very suppressed. You can't use YouTube over there. You're not allowed. I got told not to use it when I was over there. I did a live video at the time, an Alien Addict, on the Great Wall of China, and like Dave came up to me and said I wouldn't do that because he knew what we're doing. He spoke perfect English, but yeah, you straight away when you get there, I got WhatsApp, WeChat put on my phone. It was weird. Very nice place, great people, but I'm not so sure that I'm not so sure that they see everything that's going on in the world. Just probably like Russia and places like that. They probably don't see.
Do you think we do, Ollie?
No, I don't. And this is the point. I think we live in our own little realms.
Yeah.
And I think our news is catered towards us. They'll get a news that's completely different. I mean, where we're the fucking enemy. We're the threat. They're the threat. We're the threat.
Yeah.
So I don't think Jeffrey Epstein would even come into play in that.
No, I think there'd be something about it.
I think it'd be people would know. Don't get me wrong.
I think if anything else, you could use it as a foreign power to stoke hate. Not hatred,
That's a good point. To be fair, yeah, they could say,
listen, to your advantage.
All these,
look
these
what
rich
they're doing
players.
over there. Yeah, look what they're because like I said, I think it was a Russian general or so that came out and said that the Epstein files have shown the satanic tendencies of Western elites.
Well,
I can't disagree with it. Do you know what I mean? I can't disagree with it.
No. I see what you're saying. Did you? Sean Ryan has just released a video, which I think is so fitting with how that I didn't even know how I was going to get this into the end of this show. It's titled. So, I clicked on this and got so excited, but then I saw what it meant by it. The title of the video is, I guess aliens are actually real. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to play this one as this last clip for the show. And yeah, I think he's calling this.
About Pam Bondi in front of Congress the other day talking about how the Dow's up to 50,000. Nobody gives a fuck. Because what you should be talking about is how you are going to investigate and prosecute any pedophiles that were running around on Epstein Island that you're affiliated with. But we didn't talk about that, did we? Oh, and what's the excuse? What was the excuse? Oh, if we prosecute everybody, the whole system would go down. Well, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like how Trump ran his campaign. Let's drain the swamp. Doesn't that sound a lot like draining the swamp? It actually is drain the swamp served up to you on a fucking silver platter. But you're not going to take it, are you? You're going to protect pedophiles. You're going to protect pedophiles rather than go after them and hope that everybody's happy that the Dow hit 50,000. Are you fucking out of your mind? I guess the whole drain the swamp campaign promise was another fucking bullshit lie, huh? Man, the lies are stacking up fast. I've never seen so many fucking lies appear in, what, a year? It's only been a fucking year. Look at all the fucking lies. You know, I wanted to talk to you about something else, too. Then you got Pam Bondi and what's that other guy's name? Todd Blanche. Yeah, running around giving Ro Khanna and Massey all this shit because they accidentally put two names that are apparently innocent, out that were in the Epstein files. Well, I got fucking news for you. You know, you have two guys that are in Congress that are actually doing shit, and you give them shit because they made a mistake when they're trying to do the fucking job of the entire Department of Justice, because nobody over there will do their fucking job when it comes to putting pedophiles away in prison. So you give them shit because two people are trying to do the job of the entire Department of Justice. Fuck you. Fuck you. And here's another thing I'm getting tired of is seeing all these fucking politicians, congressmen, senators, fucking talking about all the shit that they saw in the unredacted files. And then you know what they do? They go right to X and they post about it and tell us all how shocked we would be of what's in those fucking files. Guess what, congressmen? Guess what, senators? There's the speech and debate clause that says you cannot be sued for anything you say on the House floor. So here's a tip. Get to fucking work. Permission granted. Oh, and one last thing. One last thing. I saw this shit pop up the other day. Obama goes on some random podcast that nobody's ever heard of and just happens to drop, oh, aliens are real. Yeah. Tell me that shit's not fucking orchestrated. Right in the middle of the biggest pedophile ring exposed in the fucking world. All of a sudden, we're gonna drop that aliens are real. Fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you. Fucking aliens. Fuck off.
I fucking love reported. Sean Ryan.
This is what, mate.
I love Sean Ryan. I genuinely, I thought when he first sort of came to prominence, I thought he was like a full-on fucking military-industrial complex plant, and he was they were trying to create a Joe Rogan. But yeah, I just think he's a cool guy now.
He kind of called that though, because I don't know if you'd seen that clip.
No.
So he said exactly what you've just said.
It was the first thing I thought, like this morning when I saw the like the not necessarily the Obama thing a little bit, but mostly this like burying things under the ground and stuff. Though we all got senators, See, that's the thing as well. I wonder if that senator's seen the unredacted files. And there's a really interesting thing as well. I don't know how you get this information or whether this information is even publicly available, but the files. So when they gave them the unredacted files, it was like a private login. I think you could do to go and look at them. It was either the unredacted ones or it was the files before they were released. So the Congress people were given their own private logins to log in and go and look at them. Problem with private logins, Ollie, is that means the people that gave the logins know what they were searching for. Apparently, loads of them were searching for their own names.
Wow.
No.
I think it's going to disappear for a little bit, mate. I think we're going to go back to UFOs for a bit. And I think
you're probably right. I think it's maybe there's so much pressure on this Epstein stuff at the minute. I think it's pretty crazy, like the level of public interest. And again, like, look, they didn't need to do this.
It just takes a few things, mate, to get people off the scent again, though.
No, but the thing is, I don't know. Someone help me. American people come to my aid. But they said there's 6 million documents. Yeah. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, that rings a bell.
Why didn't they say there was 3?
Because there's 6.
No, but if they're going to release 3 million, which they did,
yeah,
why not just say there's 3? These are the Epstein files.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I guess see what you're saying. Why keep?
I don't believe they didn't have the power to do that. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, they could just say this is all we've got.
Yeah,
done.
We want us to talk about this, and they want us demanding it. Someone turned around to me, someone turned around.
It goes into the whole Q thing. This
doesn't.
It does.
You want it to. Goes into the World Economic Forum thing for me.
Well, us demanding it. I'm on about with the almost like Trump trapping the left.
I'm gonna be. Unfortunately, I'm like, I do not believe this. I don't. I think Trump's just as involved as anybody else.
You think?
Yeah. No. I mean, not even if he's not involved in the nasty side of it. I think he's been set up to be like the guy. I think even the losing the election, then coming back and winning it again. I'm almost convinced they're gonna prove that the election was stolen off him. That like the last election, but like the reason I'm saying this is it all feels so fucking orchestrated. And like Pam Bondi said, like there was a bit, I can't remember the quote, but she was like, oh look, like if it would take the stock market down if we put out what was there. Someone in our Spotify comments. So I'm not going to go through them at the minute to look for it. So sorry, but yeah. To you, I agree with this person. They mentioned about the whole Rupert Lowe thing coming in. They were saying that the whole thing reeks of like a post-capitalist society. Like what comes next after what we're in now. And I think it takes more than one thing. That's it. If you're going to take like capitalism down and the West down, it takes more than just like some immigrants and this, that, and the other. It's going to have to be like a multi-pronged approach. So, I mean, the UFO stuff at this point could be fucking bread and circus. Do you know what I mean? Just like to throw that at them is fucking wild. Keep them well entertained.
Well, yeah, that's why I brought the trailer in for the new film, because I think people are going to, after that film, I think a lot of people, it's a Spielberg film, I think there's going to be something in that film that's going to get people talking massively about UFOs.
Yeah, look, I think it's fucking mental, like genuinely mental, that people are treating this film as anything more than just a sci-fi
just
film.
A film.
By Steven Spielberg.
It does, yeah, but people are treating it like a documentary.
Which is mental. Like what
it is, I agree.
That says more about the fucking sanity level of the average fucker on the internet than it says anything else.
But there's nobody correcting it, you know. I mean, it's brilliant marketing.
But nobody. There's been 2 trailers put out for a fucking sci-fi movie.
Yeah, and arguably those trailers show nothing.
Yeah, good. It's what trailers are supposed to do. But there is literally no different to this coming out as Predator Badlands. I really don't understand it. I did watch that.
Yeah.
Wank on it. I turned it off.
I watched it with the boys. They enjoyed it. It wasn't a Predator film. It wasn't scary.
Not my Predator. Anyway, the fact is if you want to dismantle the system we've got now, like, well, maybe that's what the next 3 million documents are for. Maybe that's what it's for. Maybe that's why we're getting this right now. We think we're all fighting for, whoa, yeah, let's do this. But we've all been told that at some point they're going to collapse fiat currency and replace it with a digital currency. How do you collapse it? How do you actually collapse our monetary system? Maybe that's how.
Yeah.
You know, the smart person before they're going to before they're going to bury somebody, takes them out into the forest and makes them dig their own grave before they murder them.
It seems like that's what's happening at the minute. Someone's slowly being led into the forest.
Well, on that cheery note, Ollie, we're gonna leave that.
We're gonna leave, yeah. We're gonna leave you at that.
Like I said, we keep doing shows that used to be like that old like Crime Watch TV show that used to be in the UK television. Anyone in their like mid 40s would definitely remember it. If you're older than that, you remember it. And they used to finish every show was that. But please don't have nightmares. I feel that's how I should be fucking finishing this podcast off.
Well, I'll be honest with you. When I started putting this show together, I thought this is just going to be a UFO show, and then I saw that show on Ryan Clip, and I thought, "Where's he going with this? What's with the aliens thing?" I'm like, "Oh, I get it."
There we go. Well, we'll be back tomorrow with more fucking crazy hijinks.
Fucking madness.
I'm not going to ask you to
hopefully we can do the show that I wanted to do today. That we wanted to do today.
Well, who knows? Who knows what the next 24 hours will bring, Ollie? There'll be something to talk about. It turns out to be a slightly easier job than you would think it would do. Chronicling the fall of fucking civilization. Who would have thought?
We're here for you.
We are all the time. Like every single day of the week, 3 days a week without fail.
That's it.
60% of the time, all the time. Say goodbye, Ollie.
66. Goodbye, Ollie.